Hello my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another book review. Today, I'm going to be talking about The Last Olympian by Riordan, and this is book 5 in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. So, I think we know the drill by now. There are going to be spoilers in this book, so if you have not read this far in the series yet, go and catch up right now, and come back after you read. So, we start this book off with Percy driving around with Rachel. I don't know how I feel about them as a potential couple. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the chemistry. So Percy's driving around with Rachel. They're going to the beach. Paul, who is now officially married to Percy's mom, is letting Percy borrow his car, which is a huge, huge mistake, because Blackjack, the Pegasus, just kind of put some nice hoof-sized dents in the thing. And, Percy's being called off to battle. Apparently, since the last book, they've been practicing and training and preparing for this huge war with the Titans and making plans for when they eventually try and invade New York. And it is time to put those plans into motion. So, Percy and one of the sons of the Smith god, whose name I am not even going to try and pronounce because I stink at pronouncing names. They're infiltrating the cruise ship that Luke and his demigod army is in, and they plan to blow it up, along with everyone inside. And the original plan was for the two of them to get out of the ship before it goes kablooey, but things don't go to plan. There's a spy at camp, and they leaked the plans that they were making to Kronos, and they were ready for Percy and the other kid. The other kid, he detonates the Greek fire bomb that they were going to use. Percy is blown off the ship and into the water, and since he's son of a sea god, he could survive that kind of fall, but the other guy's not so lucky. He is killed in the process of destroying the ship, and we see that Poseidon is not holding up so good. The old sea gods are raging battle against him under the sea, and basically Kronos' plan is trying to separate the gods as much as possible so that they are not at their full power. That is not good, because they could really use every single god that they could fighting against Typhoon, who is released from his prison under Mount St. Helens, and he is making his way to New York. And the gods, all the gods minus Hades, Persephone, Demeter, and Poseidon are off trying to stop Typhoon. And all sorts of other minor gods and titans are on Kronos' side because they feel that he's gonna win this. So things aren't looking too good for the gods. Nico shows up and is trying to convince Percy to go with this plan that he's been trying to convince him to go with for the past year. And that plan is to basically go into the River Styx and become invincible. Percy is a little hesitant to go through with this plan. Understandable, because there's not exactly a 100% success rate to this. But he does give in because they realize Luke did the exact same thing so that he could host Kronos in his body, and that's really the only way they're going to be able to defeat him. So Percy goes to the River Styx, goes for a little swim, so now they stand a little more of a chance against Kronos. So, Percy's invincible, and they're using that to their full advantage when they're battling in Manhattan. The camp is at a great disadvantage because the Ares cabin refuses to fight because of the stupid, very, very stupid little slight that the Apollo cabin made. So the Ares cabin's just like, yeah, we aren't going to fight in your war now until, you apologize and give us what's ours. So they're missing their best fighters now. Oh, and we finally hear the goddamn prophecy that's been, surrounding this whole series. You find out the prophecy that supposedly has to do with Percy, and I don't know, I found it kind of a little anticlimactic. I thought it'd be a little more dramatic prophecy-wise, but maybe I was just building it up too much in my mind. Also, Hades is refusing to fight in this battle, which is annoying, though a little more understandable than the stupid Ares slight. Hades isn't exactly welcome on Olympus, and he gets, a pretty crap deal among the Olympians, and he's not happy about it. So he's like, you know what? I'll let you guys fight that war up there, and I'll just be kind of chilling out down here in the underworld with my wife and her mom. So Nick goes down trying to persuade Hades that he needs to fight. And I like how the Hunters of Artemis, help team up with the campers too. And things in Manhattan are really tense. Things look really, really bad for them. They have a handful of campers. One of the daughters of Aphrodite flies back to camp because apparently Clarice and the camper daughter of Aphrodite, Selena, I think it's Selena, have grown close over the past year, so she's gonna try and do whatever she can to, make her see reason. So far, Camp Half-Blood is doing a really good job holding back Kronos' army, though it's not gonna last long. They've been dealt severe losses. Even when Chiron manages to come in with all sorts of centaurs to help, things still aren't looking too good. There's a lot of death and a whole lot of injuries, and eventually they have to retreat to Mount Olympus itself. Nico actually manages to convince Hades to fight and help defend Manhattan, and Percy, while on Olympus, manages to convince Poseidon to basically give up the battle underwater and go up to help them defeat Typhoon. Because this is what Kronos wants. He wants to separate as many gods as he can from the main flock so that they have a less likely chance of winning. And he's doing a pretty good job so far. But, thankfully, Hades and Poseidon see reason and go where they're supposed to be going and help out. And I just gotta say, I love the little twist with the prophecy. How Percy doesn't play as big a role as expected in this prophecy. Apparently, the cursed blade that everyone was freaking out about was not Percy's riptide, but this knife that Luke gave Annabeth when they were children. Apparently, Luke is still alive inside Kronos, and he is fighting for control. He does get control at one point. The only way for him to stay in control is if Percy doesn't kill him. He has to basically stab himself. So Percy's left with a choice. Try and kill Luke himself and risk Kronos, coming back into control and having it be for nothing, or trusting Luke enough to give him Annabeth's knife and taking care of the job himself. That is Percy's big choice. And he does, and Luke manages to stab himself in his one vulnerable place, and basically Kronos is destroyed, or as destroyed as he will be. So yeah, the gods win, the Titans are gonna be punished again, and the gods are all pleased. They're gonna reward Percy and Thalia and Annabeth for all that they have done. And Percy, since he played such a big part, has been given the choice to become an immortal god. But he turns that down because he doesn't want to be immortal. He has people he wants to be with. Instead, he's requesting the gods to claim all their unclaimed children, that all demigod children must be claimed by the time they turn 13, and that the minor gods were to get cabins at camp, because that's a big reason why they turned against Olympus in this war, because they got a pretty crap deal and aren't acknowledged like they should be. They are not treated as fairly. And that's why a lot of demigods turned against Olympus too, because they weren't claimed, they felt their parents didn't care about them, or their minor god parents weren't respected enough, so they turned to Kronos. So Percy's thinking is, maybe if they do this, it will, if this kind of situation happens again, they won't have this many losses or this many people turning against them. And the gods agree to this. We end the book, satyrs are bringing in demigods like no other from all over the country and even some other places in the world, and the camp shrines are being replenished, and they're building new cabins like no other, and the Hermes cabin is extremely happy because they're not going to be as crowded anymore because people are going to be claimed. And even the minor gods getting cabins now. Hades getting a cabin, so that's awesome. And Miss Rachel Dare has been having little freaky episodes throughout the whole book where she's writing ancient Greek and she's confused beyond all belief. And apparently she has the makings of being the next oracle. So once the whole battle's over, she goes and basically takes on the spirit of Delphi and becomes the next oracle. And at the end of the book, she gives the next big prophecy. And everyone's just like, great, we just finished this and we got another big doomsday prophecy, thank you. And finally, Percy and Annabeth become a freaking couple. It is officially canon, people. It is officially canon. So, yes. It only took them 5 books, right? And I can't wait to start the Heroes of Olympus series now, because that's going to be just as awesome. So that is it for this book review, and I hope to see you guys next time. Keep on reading, my fellow book addicts. Keep on reading.